Good morning. I'm Nicholas De Leon, and this is the Tucson Daily Brief for March 4th, 2026. Turning to government and policy, Tucson's budget hole may be $67.5 million, larger than previously disclosed. City Hall is quietly gaming out options to close the gap, including the possible return of red light cameras, adjustments to RTA Next, fare-free transit, pension payments, and gem show revenues. The larger figure suggests the city's fiscal situation is more precarious than the $40 million shortfall previously reported. That's according to Tucson Agenda. HTTPS www.tucsonagenda.com/PA bigger budget deficit. Tucson's public power fight escalates as TEP puts a $4 billion price tag on a city takeover. Tucson Electric Power says a municipally owned utility would cost taxpayers more than $4 billion, a figure released as the city council prepares to revisit the public power concept. Separately, a new pro-TEP group with prominent local figures has launched ahead of any potential ballot measure, which is still likely at least a year away. That's according to AZPM, https://news.azpm.org/p, AZPM News 2026 3 2 228713 TEP says city takeover of electric grid could cost taxpayers $4 billion. Saw Tucson Agenda, https w.tucsonagenda.com, p if I had $1 billion. Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays is appealing a utility regulator's ruling that blocked her challenge to TEP's data center energy deal. State regulators had dismissed Mays's legal challenge of the energy supply agreement between Tucson Electric Power and Project Blue developers. Mays is now appealing that decision, keeping alive a dispute that has drawn both political and environmental scrutiny. That's according to AZPM, https://news.azpm.org, PAZPM News, 2026 322287111, age, Chris Mays appeals energy agreement between TEP and Project Blue developers. Marana residents have filed suit against the town of Marana over rejected petitions that would have put a proposed data center to a public vote. The town rejected referendum petitions that could have placed the data center project on the ballot. Residents contend the rejection was improper. The case adds legal uncertainty to a development that has already drawn community opposition. That's according to AZPM, https news.azpm.org, p AZPM News 2026 227 228668. Marana residents sue town over rejected data center referendum petitions. Starting with public safety, the Department of Homeland Security intends to contract Management and Training Corporation to use its Marana facility as an immigration detention center. The announcement, flagged by Pima Resists ICE Price, would bring a federal immigration detention operation to the Northwest Tucson metro. The move is drawing opposition from local immigrant advocacy groups. That's according to Tucson local media Explorer News, https www.tucsonlocalmedia.com, Explorer News, Department of Homeland Security intends to contract Management Training Corporation for Detention Center Article 7C8 E7E95 to 9BB1 to 4779 to 93EB 443E953 EDC B0 HTML. ICE arrests in Arizona more than tripled in fiscal year 2025, with over 6,000 arrests statewide. A new investigation by Arizona Luminaria and Callo News found arrests held at roughly 175 to 190 per month before January 2025, then surged sharply after the Trump administration's inauguration, reaching nearly 1,000 arrests in September alone. Fear of enforcement has intensified across immigrant communities in Tucson and southern Arizona. That's according to Arizona Luminaria, https asluminaria org 2026-0303. ICE arrests tripled in Arizona last fiscal year as street operations surged. Advocates and detainees are raising serious concerns about conditions at the Eloy Detention Center following a spate of deaths. A new report by the Florence Immigration and Refugee Rights Project documented detainee testimony about deteriorating medical care and living conditions at the facility in Pinal County, south of Phoenix. Rights groups say there has been little accountability or progress despite repeated complaints. That's according to Cronkite News, https Cronkite News, azpbs.org 2026-0303 Eloy Detention Center Detainee Treatment. In business and development news, Tucson gas prices have risen about 20 cents in the past week, reaching a local average of $3.21 per gallon. Middle East conflict concerns are driving residents to fill up early, with some stations on the west side still holding below $3. The national average is $3.11. Arizona's statewide average is $3.40. Station operators say prices are tied to overseas supply disruptions and tariffs. That's according to KGUN9, https www.kggun9.com news, community-inspired journalism, West Side News, Tucson and Stock, up on gas amid Middle East conflict concerns and rising prices. Willie's Phillies, a longtime Tucson food cart, has opened its first brick-and-mortar restaurant at 4652 East Speedway Boulevard. The cheesesteak concept transitions from a mobile operation to a permanent home base while continuing catering and event service. The opening adds to a modest stretch of new food businesses along the Speedway corridor. That's according to Tucson Foodie, https://tucsonfoodie.com/2026-0303 Willie's Phillies, brick and mortar now open on Speedway Boulevard. In community news, a free traveling museum celebrating America's 250th birthday makes its Tucson area debut today in Marana. The Road to 250 Arizona Traveling Museum features interactive exhibits on American and Arizona history, including a replica of the Liberty Bell. It stops today, March 4th, 1 to 5 p.m., and tomorrow on March 5th, 11 a.m., 3 p.m., at 113-251 N. Lon Adams Ardis in Marana, then moves to Fort Lowell Museum in Tucson on March 8th, 10 a.m., 4 p.m., 2900 N. Craycroft Arde. Admission is free for all ages. That's according to KGUN9, https://www.kgun9.com news/local news at a museum on wheels is making stops across our neighborhoods. Retro Game Show Night has found a new home at 191 Toole after 13 years at Hotel Congress. The monthly event, a staple of Tucson's entertainment calendar, relocates to the venue at 191 E Toole Ave, following the change in venue partnership. That's according to Arizona Daily Star. This is Tucson, https://tucson.com. This is Tucson article 34E16503 to 6C9C475C86FE5357E082F51 HTML. And now your Tucson weather forecast. No active NWS watches, warnings, or advisories for Pima County. Today, Wednesday, March 4th, mostly sunny. High near 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Southwest wind 2 to 8 miles per hour. No precipitation. Tonight, mostly clear. Low around 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Southwest wind 3 to 7 miles per hour. Tomorrow, Thursday, March 5th, sunny. High near 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Southwest wind 3 to 17 miles per hour with gusts up to 29 miles per hour. Outlook, warm and dry conditions continue through Friday, high near 70 degrees Fahrenheit as a weak front pushes through Thursday with gusty winds. The weekend brings a slight cool down with a modest chance of rain showers returning Saturday afternoon and evening, 20% chance, high near 79 degrees Fahrenheit. No significant precipitation expected through the week. That's your Tucson Daily Brief for March 4th, 2026. I'm Nicholas De Leon. Have a great day.